Hi, this is a foreigner living in the Philippines. We had a subscriber that when I said in some of my my other videos that I came out to the Philippines with just 2,000, and she didn't think that that was true. Well, I don't know why anybody would go on and open a YouTube channel and then lie. It was coming out with $2,000. Was that something to brag about? I was broke. I sold everything that I had, and I think it was about 2,000. It might have been a bit more, it might have been a bit less. But when I came out, $2,000, when it was translated into pesos, meant that I was okay. The other thing is that I stayed rent-free with my son, who was living out here. Now, that meant that for 3 months I didn't have very much in the way of outgoings, so I actually was pretty well off. I even was able to pay it forward and help some people who were in trouble. And I managed to buy a Volkswagen. And then over the next few months, I spent most of that time in Mabalacat. After I'd been with my son for a few months, I moved into an apartment in Mabalacat. And for that apartment, which was really nice, in quite a nice area, in a Filipino area, right? Now, I never ever lived in a condo. I never lived with the rich foreigners. I just didn't do that. And I was having this old Volkswagen refurbished, renovated, restored. And so I got to know the mechanic, and I mentioned to him that I thought I should move up closer instead of driving up from where I was staying with my son, which was in San Fernando. And he said, there's a place there. I went and looked at it and I took it. It was 6,000 pesos. Now, 6,000 pesos, they thought that was very expensive. And it probably was, but the place was really nice. So I moved in there and I had money. When I needed something done on the Volkswagen, then I did it. Now, that money eventually, of course, started to run out. But I had my monthly pension. I get 2 pensions, not very much money, but I get enough to live on here. It's not enough to live on in the States. In fact, in the States, after losing everything, house, marriage, divorce, bankruptcy, I was actually living in a warehouse right next to the public library in downtown Fort Myers. And I had a room at the top of the warehouse. It's not your exact kind of warehouse that you think of. It was like an art gallery, and if you live in Fort Myers you will have seen it. It's the one that's painted all different kinds of colours. Why is it painted all those different kind of colours? Because the man in it is an unusual thinker, and whenever he was given paint, whatever the colour, he'd use it to paint part of his warehouse. So that's where I came from, and I arrived here, and actually I was doing okay. So forget about your idea of what $2,000 will do, and think 46 pesos to the dollar. And that's why I was able to live as I did. I decided that I would come and take a trip to Cebu. I took a trip to Cebu, and there is where I met my wife. When I met my wife, you think that having a small pension is difficult. Because I hadn't received a letter from the US, which is an "Are you still alive" letter. They send a letter out when they're paying your pension, and you have to respond to that letter. Of course, you have to receive the letter. And if you don't receive it, and they don't receive an acknowledgement of that letter, they stop your pension, which is what they did. And the pension that I get from the US is the larger one of the two. US and UK. So when I met my wife, any idea that anybody may have that my wife married me for my money is is sadly amiss. We existed on very little, living in the ghetto, paying back then was it 3,000, honey?
Yeah.
We paid 3,000 a month. We lived in the ghetto. You got to the ghetto by walking an alleyway that was a little bit, probably about the same width as this truck, and that's where we lived. And we lived like rabbits in a warren for, I don't know, several months. Wasn't great living, but we were together, so that was the important thing. She used to go to work. She was still working at the hospital, so that was a little help. But it took several months to get my pension reinstated, and that was a tough time we had. During that time, just in case everybody thinks that I'm on here telling what a wonderful paradise that I live in, no, if you're working 8 till 5 or 9 till 5 in a job that you hate, driving for too long in traffic and struggling to pay the bills, yeah, right now I'm living in paradise. But it wasn't paradise then. We had a difficult time. So I even walked out. I got bitten by a dog and had to do rabies injections into my face. That was wonderful. I got knocked down by a jeepney in the road. Walked across. It's at an intersection, a junction, and the traffic was very, very heavy. Traffic coming around from the right, and this load of people that I'm standing with need to cross the road. Well, once again, I'm thinking like a Westerner, and the jeepney is coming around. It's coming around very slowly, and I think, I'm going. What's the word? What's he going to do? Knock me down? Well, coincidentally, that's exactly what he did, and he knocked me down. But fortunately, he's coming forward. He can't believe that I'm there, and I can't believe he's continuing to come. Put my hands out, and I went down on my back. I didn't get hurt, not a bruise, not nothing. I just got back up again and went to the little carinderia where I was getting something to eat. And that's it. Just some of my adventures. Coming here has made things much, much simpler, and that's where we are right now. And is it paradise? Pretty close to me. It's pretty close for me. And that's me. I'm a foreigner living in the Philippines, in a paradise maybe for you with your 9-to-5 job, but I don't do a 9-to-5 job, and I live very simply, but I don't need to work. So for a lot of people that might be paradise. So we've had a quiet time in this video. No turkeys, chickens, roosters, dogs, cats, and all of those other things that normally take place. The ducks haven't been flying on the tin roof overhead, and strangely everything's been very quiet.
It's their day off.
It's their day off. Yeah. You see, that little bit of common sense introduced by my good wife. Well, we'll say goodbye. Hope you like what you've seen. Hope you... she's doing that thing again. What does that mean, honey?
Please like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel. Thank you for the support. Have a good day, and God bless.
You enjoy your day wherever you are. Thanks for watching. Foreigner in the Philippines. Bye for now.